The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox postgame podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield postgame show with your host, me, that is Todd Fox, on the only place where you can get real live talk from real fans, brought to you in part by the real fans here on the Halos in Baseball Network. For the fans, by the fans. I always get tongue twisted with that, so my apologies. On a Sunday afternoon, I'm so glad to be here with you, and hopefully you and yours are having a wonderful time as the Angels do something they haven't done since James Malou sent me over the tweet since 2018, which is go 3-0 to start the season, come versus the series, actually, come the season, start of the season. They've won their first 3 series. Now, we talked about as a network over the last few years, you have, the law of averages is if you win series consistently, if you win at least 70% of all your series as a team by the end of the season, there's about a 90 to 95% chance you can make the playoffs. I'm not saying, not going that far ahead, but that's just a stat that's out there. So for right now, I like to enjoy my baseball one series at a time, one game at a time. And again, to go back to something I've been harping on this year and pushing a little bit more this year through our network is let's go one game at a time. Let's go 1-0 at a time. So we won today. We went 1-0 today. That's all we asked for. And look, I'm not saying that this team is who they are right now. And they're going to go on a record clip of winning 66% of their games because that's where they're at right now, 66% or whatever out of the 9 games. But if you were to tell me at the beginning of the season that the Angels would start their first 9 games at 6-3. Obviously, you would say, well, a perfect case scenario, the Angels are 9-0. But to be 6-3, although we've had our frustrations in a couple of the games, I'll take that any day because, again, you're doing what you set out to do as a baseball team that in all aspects, even though they won't admit it, is rebuilding with some style. You know what I mean? It's not a full rebuild, but it's a rebuild where they're trying to throw in the youngsters and they're getting thrown into the fire, mostly on the pitching side. But the hitting side, like your Kyron Paris's and your Logan O'Hoppes, and when Zach Neto returns, you're able to see all these guys maturate together along with Shonawell, the pitching, Joyce. You see now what can happen when you put Joyce in there and then you have, Jansen right behind him. It's that middle of the bullpen we're a little skittish about. Look, Kiwanowitz didn't have his best stuff yesterday, but look what happened with Kiwanowitz. He came in there and gave you a hard 5. Anderson did the same thing in hot conditions on the field because, again, when it's about 80 to 85 degrees outside and those big, those fans that were there today were cooking, it's also you have to add a 10-degree difference on the field. The heat rises from the dirt and the getting blasted, the grass too. If you've ever played professional baseball or if you've ever played minor league or even high school, when you're playing in the heat, you don't even need the humidity. Sometimes it's a straight sun. It will bleach down on the field. It will come back up, and man, it feels so much hotter on the field. So those guys stayed hydrated. They played really good. And did you notice one thing as we get going today? Did you notice the fact that you saw a lot of camaraderie with this team? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I've been watching a lot of Angels baseball. Maybe you're more into it and you watch a little bit more. You notice the body language of the players in the dugout, the body language of the players in warmups or whatever. But to me, and this is not me honking my honk because I really want to honk my honk with this team. But to me, I see a little bit different mentality, a little bit more, hey, we're out there, we got each other's back. We're seeing in-game adjustments, something we bitched and moaned about so much last year not happening on the hitting side of things. but you're seeing the high fives. You're seeing the, hey, you saw, a Soler after the homer. He did a shimmy with Renifo. He was doing a high five with Ohapi, a different kind of high five. They're getting their little things together. Maybe there's something to it. And I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your butt like Roger Lodge and say, hey, I want you to repeat with me. Revive in 25. It's not all about that. That's propaganda bullshit. But when you can see it on the field and you're seeing these guys, hey, generally happy. You're seeing Trout clapping for a freaking sacrifice fly, pumped up, doing stuff that he hasn't been doing in the last few years because A, he hasn't been on the field, and B, even when he was on the field, there was not that kind of, I haven't seen anything since the pool host with Trout thing where they shot the arrow at each other, or he had the kind of like that thing a couple years ago where they would throw like the hand at you, whatever, the palm. I forget what that was. But they've had their little things here and there, but nothing to where you're sitting on it and you're like, oh, okay, that's their thing. They really haven't had that the last couple of years. Now you're seeing more like, guys talking to each other. Usually there's a sect of the players who are just sitting, away from each other. I think in all essence, you've taken a lot of the bullshit off the roster. I think you're getting a lot more guys who have played with each other in different positions or different stages of their career in the minor leagues together. You've also seen just the freaking culture that they're trying to establish right now. And I think that's number one. That has to do with the coaching staff. And I'm just bringing that out because, hey, I've been noticing things and it looks pretty good. Also, before I get into the stats and before we play the Stukas, because we got Stukas on the way, the Angels win 6-2 over Ohio. Zephyr John, I got to say this about him. Although he's clearly battling some discomfort, it's nothing. I guess he passed all the MRIs and things like that. He's a gamer. He stayed out there. He talked his way to stay in there. I really like Zephyr John. My only complaint for today is why the hell would you bring in Brock in the seventh inning? Other than that, I thought it was a beautifully, managed game there by Ron Washington. So as we move on, Zephyr John gets the win, his first ever in relief. Ortiz goes to 0-2. Let's go over the numbers, shall we? For the Angels, you had Taylor Ward go 1 for 4. I really thought he should have bunted, but he worked, I think it was a walk there in that one big inning. Renifo had a nice solid day, 1 for 3 right there. You also had Mike Trout going 1 for 3 and a walk, so he got on twice. You had Soler. He got 2 big hits. He got one hit actually, and then he had the 2-run blast right there. Also, he had the solo blast. I'm sorry, and a sacrifice fly. I don't know why I mixed that up with a home run. So he had a nice day, and then you had Ohapi get 2 more hits, so he's batting .345 right now. And then you look at Shawnuel was the only guy who didn't do anything. He went 0 for 4. He didn't even get a run. Kyron Paris got 2 more hits, including a big bomb to center field. And then you had Joe Adell at least scored a run as he got hit by a pitch and would come home on a sacrifice fly. You had Tim Anderson go 1 for 4 and an RBI. So, again, this team, when almost everybody in the lineup has done something, they're 4-0. And that just should tell you the difference between this team and last year. Again, this team would not have 9 hits today. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Against 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. Another well-pitched game all around for the Angels. They got themselves in a couple jams, but they were able to get them out of it, and that's the whole thing. They were able to pitch their way through it. But 6 runs, 9 hits, not bad at all. And we'll take that all day long. So you get a huge win here to start the season against a difficult opponent that's given you a lot of problems in the past. So we will definitely take that as the Angels beat Ohio. And that's, again, the lineup did a good job tonight. They went 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, leaving 6 men on. But when they needed to get the runs, they got them. And here's the big key right here. Only 5 strikeouts as a team. You keep it under 10, I'm telling you, good things happen with the Angels. They usually always win when you keep it under 10. They struck out 10 shit fucks today. So that's good. And then also, let's look at the pitching. Tyler Anderson went 5. So again, back-to-back days where you didn't get, quality starts per se, but you still got a pitcher going at least 5 innings. Again, I'll take 5 or 6 innings from anyone in this rotation any time of the day and take my chances with that bullpen. We're going to have some rough nights in the bullpen. Just be ready, guys and gals. It could be a well-pitched game by the starter, but maybe he threw a little bit too many pitches, has to leave early, and a bullpen guy may come in there and blow it up. That's the problem that we're going to face moving forward until we address it with more veteran help or these guys get more innings under the belt. So we're going to have to work with these guys. But Tyler Anderson did a good job, although the 4 walks kind of killed his performance. I really strongly believe he could have pitched 6 innings, but he got himself into 2 jams by those walks. He allowed just 2 runs and 2 hits, so nice start for him. Zephyr John struck out the side in an innings pitched. He pitched really strong, only allowing a hit. 16 pitches total for him, 11 for strikes. Burke went out there 7 pitches. He had a rather quick inning until Joyce came out there, an inning and a third, only 11 pitches, man. And that last strikeout he looked super cocky coming off the field. That was great. Jansen, again, only throws 8 pitches in this game. So, again, the Angels throw 2 less pitches than the shitfucks, but still, all in all, good game for the Angels. Again, just talking about how they scored. Tomas hit a sacrifice fly. So for the 3rd game in a row, Ohio got out to a 1-0 lead, but Ohapi homered in the 2nd inning to tie it. Then Tim Anderson singled to left. Paris would score on the air to make it 2-1. Manzanero would homer to tie it just down the line, and then Soler would hit not a moon shot. It was more like a line drive shot that got out 3-2. Then I love the fact that they manufactured runs in that 7th inning. Again, this was nowhere last year. Nowhere last year did the Angels ever think of getting these sacrifice flies. They were all trying to get home runs. They were all trying to hit the ball where they shouldn't have. They seem to be a little bit more disciplined and a little bit, it looks like they've done their homework, I should say, and they notice what the pitchers are throwing, and they could kind of sit back and wait for their look. And you had Renifo with a nice sacrifice fly to advance everybody to make it 4-2. Soler got one in to make it 5-2. And again, you saw Trout over there pumping his fist, happy as hell. That was great. 5-2 right there. And then Paris homered. And again, Kyron Paris, what more can you say about the kid? He gets his first home run at home. Very, very nice win, 6-2. And before we get into the awards, we have to play the Stukas because the Angels win. And every time they win, we have to play this, baby. So the Angels get the win today and win another series. They are now 6-3 in their first 9. That's really, really good. We'll look at it this way. There's many stars to choose from today for the award today, for the Stamos Award. But who do you go with right now? And again, I want to ask you guys and gals out there, it's early. It's only 9 games into the season, but you got a guy, Kyron Paris, in the 7th hole right now. Do you keep him there because he's comfortable batting .444, or do you move him to number 2, or do you like Renifo at 2? Because I kind of like Renifo at 2. Me personally, I'd like Paris leading off, but maybe that's a little bit too much to put on the kid right now. I don't know how Ron Washington's thinking right now, but I know he's made a change, moving Shonowell down to that 6th spot. I kind of like him there rather than 2. I like that speed up front, but I don't like Ward leading off. I think that's still an issue right now, but we'll see. Because I have a real feeling when Neto comes back here, guys and gals, this lineup is going to change yet again. So the John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field goes to... John Stamos Golden Stamos Award could have went to Kyron Paris today. It could go to the bullpen as a whole, but I'm going to give it to Logan Ohapi. Now he has 5 home runs. I believe he's leading the league as far as a catcher with home runs at 5. He's off to a very in fuego start, and that's good to see. He's also hitting the ball to right center field. So anytime you have a hitter going oppo in any position or any kind of time consistently, they're seeing the ball really good. So I'm very, very happy and excited to see where the sky's the limit with Ohapi as we continue here on the Heedy Postgame Show. And besides that, let's talk about who got the Nacho Night for worst player on the field.
Nacho night, oh yeah, nacho night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
The Nacho Night Award, the worst player on the field. I think you have to give it to, again, we talked about the criteria of winning this award last night. And, you could say that, pitching wise, Ohio didn't really have too many bad performances, although Ortiz sucks. He really didn't pitch that bad. He actually gave him a quality start, 3 runs, 7 hits, 6 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no walks. He did allow the 2 home runs, but that's not bad for a guy who came in with a rocky start to the season. However, you had 2 guys hit for the hat trick, and at least one of them had a run scored, or actually a home run. So I can't give it to that guy, but I will give it to Gabriel Arias. Gabriel Arias is the second baseman for the Shitfucks. He went 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts and a flyout. He had the hat trick, so he's got to earn those 3 strikeouts and that heaping helping of nachos that have been sitting on the what is it called, the hot dog stand over there, or the helmet nacho stand all night, and sitting out with that cheese just molding overnight. So yeah, there's that. So the Angels get their win tonight, and or today actually. Rally Chris will check in with the first comment as we read all your comments. We want to also put it out there. Please like and also hit that notification bell. It really helps us out right there. Give us a thumbs up. Do whatever you got to do. We appreciate you. We gave away those tickets yesterday, so hopefully our boy had a good time at the game today. So Rally Chris checks in with Angels won the first 3 series to start the season. It's Spritz the clock. We're so back.
Spritz the clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz the clock, let's pour some more. Spritz the clock, let's pour some more. Spritz the clock, let's pour some more.
Also, Jason Hess says, Stukas, baby. We played that earlier. Jason Hess says, we are so not back yet, but enjoy another series win. I just hope we don't get swept in the Texas series. I will be there holding up the Angels home front right there. So we appreciate that, Jason, as you're local there to Arlington, Texas. Josh Backley checks in with 6-3 record, won our first 3 series. Bats getting hot, pitching keeping us in games. Not a bad start to the season. And I think right there, Josh's comment should sum up just about every Angels non-honk, familia type take on this team so far, because it's good to be excited. But temper your expectations, because this team has let you down several times. So we got to take one game at a time. It's all right to be happy. It's all right to boo when they stink or they make a mistake. So don't forget that. But for right now, let's temper our expectations, take it one game at a time, one series at a time, and enjoy it. Don't worry about what the team's doing up north. Just focus in on the Angels and this young team and cheer them on as they continue to grow. I mean, again, we all would want to honk or honk. But again, let's just keep it tempered and we'll see what happens. And this team could really surprise us moving forward. Jason says, even though Burke held up his end, still should have went with Detmers. And again, Detmers should be thrown more at this point. Jason says, my twin boys went to the Rangers-Rays game in Arlington with their girlfriends. They were repping the Trout jerseys, and they were getting fuck the Angel chants at them. Gotta love Texas people. Tyler says, one game at a time, baby. Sapphire says, let's fucking go, Todd. Mike Trout checking in says, we're so back, baby. Grillmaster says, Paris, cue the home run fan duel song right there, because, again, you get a lot of this. You get a lot of that because they're like, hey, did you check out the launch angle? Hey. So there's a lot of that. Also, Jason says another series win. Cue Lombardi. Lombardi's even choking on this.
What the hell's going on out here?
Also, oh my God, Joshua says, we won another series. We're so back. Mike Trout's calling for Stukas. Also, 3 series in a row. That's called a winning streak. Yes, it is called a winning streak. Right?
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday.
Yes, we did.
We win one today. That's
We won
2
one already.
in a row. We win one tomorrow. That's called a winning streak.
Sure is. Can I rally my monkey? Ryan says, absolutely. Just do it behind closed doors. No lewd acts in front of the public. Nacho Knight, Ron Washington for using too many relievers unnecessarily. Should have kept Joyce out there for another. Nah, I think one inning's good right there. I like the way he ended that game. I'm good with it, even though it wasn't a save situation. And besides, there is no excuses. They have an off day tomorrow. Get ready for honk juices to flow, Tyler says. Balls in my mouth. He's already starting.
For you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Also, Jason Hess says balls, and it seems like everyone's having sex out there, but Seanwell's like, dude, I can't score.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Can't score. Also, Mike Trout says the nightclub was good last night. Why didn't I go today? It's too early. David says Washington better leave Kyron Paris in the long run. Now he certainly deserves a full-time job. Why not? Run him out there. Rally Chris says bats during the road trip to start the season was cold, but during the Cardinals series before we came home was starting to wake up, but definitely these last 3 games, they're very hot, average 6 runs per game. He ain't lying right there. Ron Washington says, I am a second best manager since Mike. Mike Trout says, that sex last night helped me big time. Jesus says, watching Angels baseball is better when you can sync both radio and TV. That is true. Mike Trout says, hey, the Locked On guys are on. You might want to check them out. Well, let's do it then. Let's go to a live feed and check out what they're talking about.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I'd rather not. They always seem to be talking about nuts over there. Grillmaster says, with Anderson hitting, don't you think we should DFA Newman? They could. We'll see. Again, there will be a decision made. And you will see Kahada up, or Kahada, whatever you want to say his name or pronounce it, if I'm saying it right or wrong. You'll see Kahada up pretty soon, and you also will see Neto up, and there's going to be some decisions to be made. Halos Forever says, holy cow, we have won all the series to start the season. Anthony checks in with, Wayne would not stop talking about Trout hitting a home run for 3 straight games. Q Bally's. Yeah, he's when he's on a home run rant, he just is like, hey, oh, Hoppy, hey. Yeah, those guys are home run obsessed. Go Angels right there. Daniel checks in. IE Native says, another solid win, but gonna ride the wave for now. Go Halos. Mario says, Todd sounding like Mike Scioscia, 1 game at a time. Absolutely. Dude, if that's one guy to emulate in baseball, Mario, that's Mike Scioscia for sure. Unknown checking out saying, go Angels over there on TikTok. Balls, and Kyron Paris better stay in the lineup. I agree, Brian. You need the hot hand to continue to be in the lineup.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Kyron Paris. Also, Tyler says, wait, isn't this the Locked On postgame? No, you better switch channels over there. It's your boy says, wow, this team looks fun. Don't think they're a playoff team. Max wins I have them at is 75, but man, if they stay consistent, we'll definitely see growth from this young team, and they can be competitive. And it's your boy. I am right there with you. I still think this team can make 81 wins, and making 81 wins is a huge improvement from last year. That's 18 wins over your previous season. That just says to me, you're taking that next big step to then take a next big step. And with the guys, the importance of this draft this year, I can't stress it enough. They really need to hit on a lot of these players. And if you hit on these players, that gives them more time if you add more free agents. Again, if this team is fun to watch, if this team is making strides, you don't think the rest of the league is watching this? You don't think the rest of the league is realizing, hey, this team, the Angels, are on a come up. I want to come to this team. I want to play for this team. I want to, if Trout stays healthy too, then players will say, well, yeah, if I go to the Angels, Mike Trout can actually play almost a full season. If Trout gives us 140 or more, that's another win. So that's something to look forward to moving forward. But again, 6 wins down, and we still have a ways to go, 75 to go to get to my 81 prediction. So I'm sticking with that. KP is the truth. He sure is. Jesus says, listening to the radio, Terry and Mark were saying or demanding that Walsh should play Kyron and stop making him a part-time player. Yeah, I mean, dude, what more does he have to prove? Again, he's blazing through the spring training. A lot of people can raise an eyebrow and say, okay, he looks good, but can he do it in the regular season? The fact he's come out, and every time you've called him off the bench, every time you threw him in there as a replacement, every time you started him, he looks solid. Even going 1 for 4 last night, the dude had a solid game and played a big role in the win. So continue. Like Sammy Sosa said in his broken English back in the day, he says, keep it to continue. Keep it to continue. Let's keep it going. Also, 3 straight series wins, Tamir 20 says. Mario says, honk your honk until the juice comes out on Marshall's face. That's a bit descriptive. But yeah, I guess
for you to check out what I want.
Honk, I hit the wrong one. Jim says, we need a new Nacho photo. Oh, yeah, I got to throw that Nacho photo up there. Jason says, nice take on the Angels vibing. Honestly, think it started with a no phone rule. It could have, Jason. Rick likes it right there. DJ says, upcoming draft, pray Washington doesn't take Arnold from Florida State University ahead of us. That's true. Let's see. A James. Also, you seeing more players buy in. You are. Rick also says those Angels are moving and grooving, baby. Mario says, I think this is winning. This winning is the Rendon effect. If he's not around the team, this team gels better. And to say something that you brought up right now, Mario, someone tweeted, I think it was Rally Chris. He tweeted, or he grabbed a tweet that said that the Angels could have a visit to the clubhouse from Rendon when they visit Houston, because he lives in the Houston area. And I'm like, why? Don't bring that cancer into the clubhouse, dude. That is just like, to me, bringing Rendon into the clubhouse is like going to your local bus station or like train station, going to the bathroom, then proceeding to get on your knees on in front of the toilet and lick the toilet seat with your tongue. That is the germs that you are trying to invite into your body. So I think the Angels allowing him to then have a pass to get into the stadium is much like you doing what I just described. That is not the smartest thing to do. Ocean View says Angels are rolling right now. Marty says winning is contagious. We're so back. Halos Forever says they remind me of 2002 when they didn't have big stars except for Trout. They are having comrades or camaraderie. Trout stealing Q Lombardi. Yeah, and that's the cool thing too. Last year, the Angels would never have ran, even though the pitcher threw over there 2 times. I saw the Angels never do that last year. This year, I told Steve Elise, I said, hey, I think he's going to run. She's like, no, he's not. And then he took off, and we were like,
What the hell's going on out here?
Exactly. Jack Chandler says, nice to have depth. Paris and Ohapi are on fire, and Neto will be back soon. It's your boy says, seeing Kyron hit the rocks was amazing, and the kid has something there. We shall pray that Wash is on the good stuff, and starts to play him more often. Jack also says, our bullpen has the big arms. Can't ask for a better start, especially after after game 1 of the season. Yeah, it looked pretty bad after game 1. Rally, and think about this too. We had to wait an extra day thanks to MLB scheduling. So after that tough loss, dude, we were just sitting there like, damn, when are we going to play again? I say the Angels go 6-3 or 7-2 on the road trip. Book it. I am not going to be calling any of these games. Again, we're playing traditionally teams that have it in for us. And again, you're going to a stadium first off in Tampa that you're not familiar with, that nobody's really familiar with. So that one's going to be a wild card series. And then when it comes to Houston, we've always struggled there. We have a ridiculous record. I think we're 13-30 in our last 33 games in Houston. So again, I know they've lost a lot of pieces. Their pitching's not the same as a different Angels team. That to me would get me to start honking a little bit harder if they do really good in Houston. Then Texas is off to a phenomenal start. They're 7-2. So again, all these games one at a time, baby. Let's just talk about Tampa. Mario says, nice to see productive at bats with the bases loaded, nobody out instead of 1, 2, 3 in the inning. Yes, and that's the other thing, Mario. How many times did we watch this team get the bases loaded and do jack squat with?
What the hell's going on out here?
I think Lombardi, although he sounds mad, he's saying what the hell is going on out here in a happy way. Also, the goal is to win each series. So far, so good, Carlos Guerrero says. Also, we won. Cue the Angels in the outfield we won because, again, that's another one that we play on here because we're not used to them doing it, man. And it's you know.
Wow, winning.
Yeah, dude, it's not really something that we're used to on here because we used to always make fun of this team just losing. But
We won?
and the emotional damage seems to be on Cleveland's side this time instead of ours.
Emotional damage.
Also, Jason Hess says, let's see what happens in Texas. Rick says, I just got my tickets for Star Wars night with the family, so let's go out and have some fun. Botched Investigation says, Halo's on the road, World Series champions. Let's go. Jack Chandler says, Indians were in the ALCS last year. Yeah, it's not a bad win over this team. Rally Chris says, Angels 2025 playoffs has a ring to it. Jesus. Stop getting so ahead of ourselves. Angels winning a series this year on a tear. So far, so good. Jack also says, should have swept these fucks. We got hosed in game 1 and pitched to Ramirez. That is true. That is one thing right now. I am in full agreement right there. Also, Cole over there on TikTok says, how about them Angels? Eric says, hey, folks. Also, Tony C checks in with Angels look impressive. They still need a bat that will be Neto. Go Halos. Great show, Todd. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that, Tony C. Marty says, Ohtani looking at this team, wishing he was on a winning team after the Doyers lost today. Screw that traitor. Chubb says, I'm a honk my honk from Gene Autry way down Catella. And that's what a lot of Angel fans are doing. A lot of honking. Grillmaster says, getting back to Neto is as good as getting a free agent. Oh, don't start talking like Roger. Mike Moore says, any news on Stevenson? Yeah, Stevenson is due back in about July or so. He's got a ways to go. Cole also checks in with when Neto comes back, who you think is going to or moves to the bench? Anderson, Newman, Mikado. Can't be Paris. Well, here's the thing. Paris is the only one with options. So if you're going to keep Paris in the lineup, one of those three have to go, and my bet would be on Anderson. Although he's come through with some RBIs, could be Moncada. They could like what they see in Anderson and get rid of Moncada. Also, hey, look at the launch angle. Hey, Gooby. Also, Jim says, number of Deos, anybody? I wasn't in attendance, so someone needs to fill me on how many Deos. Grillmaster says, homering into solar system, Jorge out of this world. Botch says, what is Stukas? Well, Stukas is that song that we play when the Angels win. I might as well just throw it up one more time because it's fun when they win. It's sort of like we play a sad song when the Angels lose, and that one we played way too much. And then we play one when they buttercup, which is blowing a lead. The other one, the losing one, is when we're losing from first pitch to last. We never gain the lead. The buttercup is when we blow the lead and lose. And then we play Stukas when we win, which is basically, it's that old Dickie song when it's talking about Stukas flying over Disneyland, which is German fighter planes, sort of like the American ones. So it's just something that, Dan Rios threw out there, and it just sort of fit. Everyone liked it last year, and we stuck with it. So we play this. We play. It's just sort of a song that just makes us happy. Also, Hayes says, was at the Big A last night, but I don't remember shit. Still was a good-ass time. Felt like home. Exactly. A lot of drunk fans there, and you're probably one of them, Hayes. You were in a haze. Silent E also says offense has been on so far. Pitching hasn't been too far behind, but I don't know how sustainable this performance is. Hopefully we can carry it up on the road. I think the 5-4 Rays swept and Texas sweeps us. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, one game at a time. What's up with Stephanie, or however you say his name? Last 2 outings, he seems to have an injury. Oh, that's Zephyr John. You know, he's not bad. He's battling the hip, but again, like I give him credit. He's battling out there. He's not sitting down. He's not doing a Rendon. He's trying to be out there because he wants to be out there. And you can see he's got really, really good stuff. And he got his first win today, too. So Marty says definitely these guys have their tails up. Just keep winning series, and we're World Series bound. Also, Bexeria says from X, Angels need to extend him immediately. Marty says keep Paris where he is. Noodle arm to ride the pine. Renifo to lead off. I would like that. I'm taking out my honking after 3 wins of series in a row. So right now he's calling it. He says, if you're around my house, I will be honking. So be out of the spray zone. Keep clear. Rego says, hey, light that baby up, Foxy. Thank you. Also, you got Soler should get player of the game, in my opinion, Mike Trout says. Also, Mario says you need a Hoppy soundbite. Oh, yeah, we need a Hoppy. Oh, that's Roger Lodge. Are we good, Andrew Johnson? I think we're not good, but we're competitive. I think good is when you feel good about a series before you play it, or a game before you play it. I think everyone is skeptical. I think at this cautiously optimistic. I think that's as high as I can go right now. I'm cautiously optimistic before every game that we have a chance. Oh, Hoppy is in fuego. Look at you working on your Spanish. I am. I'm trying very good. Jesus says, feels good around the LA area wearing my Angels gear. Flash that red, baby. Get your red on. And also get your heaty on. Ay, no mames, way. Estamos ganando. Silent E says, the Golden Stamos goes to the Rally Monkey because Artie hates the Rally Monkey, and the Nacho will forever go to Artie till he sells. Low-key, that is what happens. Let's go, Angels. Young guys hitting they stride. Also, Adele sucks. Hashtag Steve Elise. Then you got, what's up, fuckers? Halos dubbing on a Sunday afternoon. Let's fucking go. We are becoming a scrappy team. Like it. So a shout out to the best post-game podcast in the West Coast. Thank you so much, Jay. Much appreciated. Really, really much appreciated. Bixeri says Perry and company need to extend O'Hoppy immediately. Well, I think you let it get to about 1.5 years left on his contract. Keep that, because again, Artie's not going to extend him. He's going to wait until he possibly can't, and his agent starts to complain because Artie does not want to lock guys up too early. He's going to, you best believe he's going to milk those rookie contracts. Grildo wants to grill on the 19th. What's the details for the tailgate? If you have them, that commercial will be up tomorrow on Instagram and all of their social media, so stay tuned for that. And I will have the shirts ready to go on sale finally tomorrow. So shout out to that too. We'll be ready. Oh, Hoppy Homer, Q FanDuel. Hey, did you see Ohio win and almost hit a planet? Also, you have Green Kid checking in with going by the last few years. We seem to crash and burn in mid-April, usually around the 16th. So if we are positive and still look good by going into May, maybe there's something here. Till then, I'm going to take it one game at a time. And exactly what I'm doing too. Because you have to do that. Because, again, last year they were swept in Star Wars night. But believe me, I went to all 3 games. And they got embarrassed. And we got the tough Giants in that series. That's not going to be an easy series. It'll be a fun series. I will guarantee you that. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. So, again, if we can – I'm right there with you, Green Kid. If they could stay away from the injuries and they stay above 500 going into May, there could be a little something here this year. There could be something. Dre Money says, Deo! And he's calling for a lot of these. And again, we're waiting for those that were at the stadium today. How many did we get today? Because I didn't get the official. Because game 1, we had 17 Deos. Game 2, there was 9. Game 3, I don't know. so I can't give you an official read. I hope this doesn't mean that Jansen and Joyce won't be available for the first 2 games of the series. Silent E, that would not surprise me one bit. John Stamos choked on him, is what he's talking about.
John Stamos choked on me.
Also, you had Jay saying, I'm trying to make a tailgate for the night on the 19th, bro. I need one of those heaty shirts. We'll come down. We will have them. Eddie Perez says, Gooby was honking my I don't know about that.
How dare you?
Botch says, I'm not happy. I'm happy. I see what you did there. That is that definitely deserves a drum roll as I got stuck there. Wait. There you go. Rim shot. Also, whose house? Our house. We're winning the West. Book it. Calm down, Marty. Marty says Shonowell is Grildo and Farkas of the Angels and is getting no action. Damn. Also, Brian says, wait, why do you not look like the new Locked On postgame guy? Did I miss something? No, I think we already played the hits, and so far the hits keep coming. And might as well check in on them
What's
again.
going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
No, it's not. Manuel says Dodgers lose, America wins. I like that. Gavin still wants these nuts in his. Jay Dog says, I think Nicky Lopez will be DFA'd, but first Newman will be gone not too far after. That's probably the right call right there. Seinfeld says, goodbye, Newman. Hey, launch angle, exit velocity. Hey. Also, Jason says Burke got put on skates on the bunt by Quan. Yeah, he kind of like broke his ankles. Todd, who are you taking on the first round pick? I don't know yet. I really haven't gone in depth yet. But if there is a starting pitcher that is not a Kumar type dude, but a guy that you know is going to be like a Garrett Cole, like a freaking just one of these can't miss starting pitchers, I don't see how you cannot go for a starting pitcher right now. I really don't. I think you really have to roll the dice on a starting pitcher that looks good coming out, maybe out of Vanderbilt, one of those colleges that's always producing pitchers. We need a ace, a future ace to come through. Also, Jay says, thoughts on Dana getting sent down. Command was shit, but I felt that he kept in there to eat innings up for the BP, for the bullpen. He needs work, and that number 36 on him has to show up and dominate like Weaver. Either get rid of it or start pitching like it, Jay, with regards to 36. I think, honestly, he can be a good pitcher. We've gone over this the last couple nights. I think he's got the stuff. He's got the velocity. He just needs to hit his spots, and I think that's going to come with more time in the minors, so I think it's the right move moving him down. I don't like the up and down crap, though. So if you're going to have him up, have him up. But if you're going to have him down, leave him down. Let him get in at least 5 to 10 starts this year and bring him up later and see where he's at. I want to let my honk out, but I shouldn't, Demetrio says. Mario also says, weigh James to weigh in on. We need James to weigh in on how many games the Angels will win. He's probably pretty accurate, or he's been accurate the last few seasons. My bad, slaughtered that one. This team is making me very Halo honkish. Exactly. Just don't go to AIM 830. Marty says, I sure don't miss number 6. Screw that guy. Todd said he'll come. Hey-oh. No. Alex said 4-0 when Kyron Paris starts. Yeah, he's a dog. Also, I know it's early, but Kyron Paris kind of reminds me of Mookie Betts. You know, he does have that vibe to him before Mookie put on a little bit more muscle. Standing next to Kyron Paris, he's fit, but he's not like buff. That's why you saw Trout. And that's why I love, too. When he hit that home run, he came back in there and he did his rounds high-fiving and he sprayed the bullpen. Another new thing. He came back over passing Mike Trout, and Mike Trout grabbed his muscle, like his arm, and kind of squeezed it like calm down. And they both laughed. And that's stuff, again, that is really nice to see. What's up, guys, watching live from work? Mateo checking in right there. Does anyone notice this team has a lot of fight compared to last year? Hell yeah, the first 9 games are better than the 162 they played. Jay says, you need that Rory RIP audio. You can put a halo over this one. I do need the one also where he says, out of here. I'd rather lick those toilet seats than ever and don't come back. Also, that was disgusting, Todd. But then again, so is number 6. Also, It's Your Boy says, please got to make sure that redacted does not come around this team anytime this season. Also, why didn't we blow our lead on offense today? Q Lombardi. Yeah, Lombardi's had a lot to say.
What the hell's going on out here?
It's Your Boy says, I still see some Halo honks on the Bluebird app. Still have faith in the redacted. Shake my head. It's so stupid. Also, it's it's an off day tomorrow. Let's see what happened last year, coming off an off day, which I never liked, by the way, especially when you're hot. KP and Ron about to hit 18 holes tomorrow with the spritzing. Mateo says, we go to Tampa and then the Texas two-step. I have a good feeling about this team, Rick says, in 2025. Also, we need to sweep the Rays and split the Texas series. Also, Jason Hess says we are going 6-3, or we are 6-3, and Texas is now 8-2. Cue the cocaine is a hell of a drug from Dave Chappelle for Washington for the wins. Oh, I got to get that one on here. Also, Chris, with all the predictions, is going to jinx us. Joshua also mentions. And then Robert checks in with, if Halos come in hot to the tailgate, everyone's got to show up and we'll have a good time. And Robert's already pledging the first $200 in beer. So if you're there early, drinks are on Robert. Mike Trout says the Locked On Halo boys are saying the Angels are saying how the Angels can make a deep playoff run. Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? Yeah, it's just a tiny bit early for, talking playoffs. I mean, like, again, those guys really honk their honks. I mean, they go way off the deep end, and I just think you need to just temper it down, see what happens, because going on the playoff talk is way, way too early. I'd rather hear a lot of this. And this.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Jim says, who's Otani? Dodgers stole the original's LA logo, Botch says. Also, Fernando says, I missed the intro to Gavin's Carlin's show. How did it start? I don't know how it started on there. That guy's a tool. Jay says, I love the MVP montage on the Jumbotron, and 80% of the fans boo Otani. I love that as well. Marty says, any chance we go back-to-back World Series champs next year after we win it all this year? Again, way too far ahead. All this honking, skiddity, and that's a reference I really wish I didn't know, but my son is loving that stupid Minecraft movie. Rally Chris says, what has Papa Fox been feeling over these last 3 wins? He's like, basically, this is exactly how he sounds, Rally Chris. He goes, Todd, this team is playing a lot better than I thought so far, but who's this guy? And I'm like, that's the guy I told you about last night that you blew me off and weren't listening about. Yeah, but is he any good? I'm like, and then he's like, well, his hitting is a lot better, and I like how they're talking to each other, and you feel like they're going to do more. And I'm like, yep, they sure are. And then he starts talking about trains, and then when I start to tune him out, hey, what's going on with this? I'm like, oh, so that's my dad. Jack Lee says, let the kids play and let's get what we get. Alrighty then. Mario says, Big 20 might really have gotten laid. He has done his job, car and everything. Welcome to the suck. Yeah, maybe he's grown up, and maybe that's what needed to happen to set the world straight. He needed to get some, like Mike Trout, and maybe, just maybe, that broke the curse. Paris needs to chill, start playing small ball. Everyone's trying to hit home runs. Also, Shaunavel's having too much sex, Papa Fox. All right, guys, I'll check back on Tuesday. Have a good day at work. You too. Also, Mateo says, I want something to cheer about in August and September. Damn it. Jim says, no tariffs at the Big A. All advertising made by the USA. All we can do is read the advertisements. And he's talking about MAGA right there. But we don't go political. Also, at Mateo, usually you cheer for your NFL team in September. Go Bears. Also, Grillmaster, Mini Syndergaard, Caden Dana sent down. I'm Thor, but not complaining. Good grief. Jason says, Grill, you're not Thor. You want to be Jack Black at best. It does look like Jack Black. What are calling for the HSK? What are they calling? I have no idea what that means. Brent says, I'll bring the loose girls to the tailgate, at least the first 200. Hey, there you go. Any day off in Houston before Arlington makes no sense when they could have an off day in the Rays series. It does. It makes no sense whatsoever. This team is infuriating, lacks depth, and is often mismanaged, but I'd be lying if I said they aren't getting better. It's true, Saucy. They are playing a bit over their head. Don't forget Rendon beat the Doyers in 2019. Oh, geez. Jay says, at 500 for Halos at the end of April. He's calling it right there. Surprised by Hans Kraus getting released a little bit because that guy was pretty good. Over under, Jay says, and speaking of over under, let's play the quick commercial that we always like to play by Underdog Sports. Please gamble responsibly, by the way. If I could find it. Where did it go, actually? I just had it here. There it is.
Hey, Todd, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Underdog app sponsored by Halos in the Infield. Actually, you can punch in HITI and get the promo code 20% earnings on your first bet via Underdog, the app. And also, they match 50% up to $1,000 winnings if you place bets. You can put them on players. You can put it on teams. It's a nightly thing. It's so easy to play, but also gamble responsibly. All because of Halos in the Infield and Underdog, the app.
There you go. That's the Underdog advertisement right there. Over under on wins. You mean, Jay? I'm still thinking it's 81. If we're talking about other things, I'm hoping that this team I'm hoping that this team can get going as far as like wins. 81 wins is nice to look at. Players hitting, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But let me know exactly what you meant by over under. Brent says, after the Angels win the World Series, can they invade Canada? Possibly. It just depends if they're going to get over that huge border in Canada. John Frisch from Locked On section says, popped in at the right time. We're just talking trash, huh? Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's fine. Again, we brought it up before. We would like to work together. We would have loved to work together, but you guys never wanted to work with us. You never wanted to bring the community together. So it is what it is. And again, there's some ill will on both sides, mainly ours, and it's fine. I have no problem saying it. And, I just felt that was a jab last year that just wasn't talked about or whatever, and it is what it is. So, I mean, you guys have the right to say whatever the hell you guys wanted to. It's fine. You guys could take our takes. That's fine as well. I don't have any problem with anything now. It's just I'm doing my thing, and if you guys don't like it, fine. I don't care. And, I'm not trying to pull the Angel fan base against each other. I just wish we could have had a fan base all together and work together, but you guys weren't interested in that. So it is what it is, man. And I'm on here just having fun, and we're on here and we're going to be real. And, we don't have any overhead, and we do what we do. And we love our fans. We earn our fans, and we're just going to do what we do and have fun cheering on our team that we get to go to and see every night. So, hey, man, again, all due respect, again, you guys could say whatever the hell you want on your page. I'm just giving you my viewpoints. I am who I am, not just on here. This isn't a persona. This isn't a gig. This isn't a freaking, who I am right now is who I am in the stadium when you talk to me, straight up. And I've always been a guy about character. So if you're straight up with me and you don't bullshit me, I won't bullshit you, and I will be straight up with you. And unfortunately, you guys bullshitted us many of times, and that's why I'm giving bullshit back. So you give what you give. That's how I roll, and I'm sorry if you take offense. It is what it is. Moving on. Mario says the next road trip will be tough. Historically, not good for the Halos. I'm hoping 5-4 record. Again, one game at a time. That's all I'm wanting. Rally Chris says, Big 20 broke the Angels curse. Let's freaking go. Marty says, we love Papa Fox. His take on Trout is gold. It will always be gold, dude. I love that. Balls in a 3-game winning streak. Yes, indeed. Three-game winning streak. And, I'm hoping that continues, or a 3-game, not winning streak. It's a 3-game series streak. That's the big thing. No, that was the wrong one.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
3-game winning streak. Also, let's get into J. Ram saying, I think about the 2002 World Series instead of taking Viagra. Trout's like, when's Artie calling in? I don't know. I've been trying to reach Artie. I don't know if give me a second here. Let me see. Let's see if Artie's going to call in or not. Because if anything, I'm sending the bat signal out right now because either Artie needs to call in or we have Terry Smith, because I know they were at the ballpark today. Absolutely. Before he goes back to Arizona anyway. Over under Washington snorts third baseline. I don't know. Steve Lee says that underdog thing kills me all the time. Jason says my honk is too big for Locked On Angels. Jay says show tomorrow, off day. Fox, man, you putting in hard work. And I was asking about the end of April. Oh, my bad, Jay. Look, like I said, I want to take games one at a time. I will be happy right now if the Angels can just go one game over 500. And, I'm gonna try to bank on that. I'm gonna try to do a Ron Washington and take it to the bank with going a game over. I really want this team to be in a better position, come the end of April into May, to where we're looking at that first bobblehead game on May 2nd with Ben Joyce, and we're thinking, okay, and we're not looking at the standings, because I don't want Angel fans to be looking at the standings like, oh, we gotta see where Texas is at. We got to see where Houston's at. We got to see, we're not counting Oakland, but we got to see where Seattle's at. No, I don't want to see that. What I want to do is make sure that we're not having, letdowns. We're not having injuries. So if we're not having letdowns, buttercup games, if the team is remaining fighting, that means, like, again, we're just going to be disappointed every now and then with law of averages. You lose 9-0. You get a 9-2 game or something like that. The bullpen blows up or a starter gets annihilated and you can't hit their starter. You can't hit their bullpen. Games like that happen. So, as long as we're having like one of those every 2 weeks, or every 3 weeks, we're in good shape. If we're losing 5-4, if we're losing, 3-2 or 7-6, you're competitive. You're in these games. You're putting runners on base. You're pitching pretty good. I'm okay with that. And, again, we're not right now in a situation to where we're like demanding wins, or we're figuring out, okay, we got the Rays. We should take 2 out of 3. No, I think the right mentality. And again, you could have your opinion. You could call a sweep. You could say we're going to be 5-4. I'm not stopping any of you, but I'm just telling you, my mentality right now is like, hey, one game at a time. And if we could take Tuesday's game, let's see what we could do on Wednesday. Let's check out the matchups. Let's see who's pitching against each other. And let's see if the Angels put the right lineup out there, because I'm just so tired of disappointment. And I think as long as, and I at this point as a fan, I don't know if you feel the same way, but at this time as a fan, if they are to lose some games and go on a losing streak, as long as they're competitive, as long as they're not the Phil Nevin team or the Joe Madden team that lost 14 games in a row, like, I want to see competitive baseball. And I'm okay with those losses, because we're not to that next level of expectations of making the postseason. We're not at that expectation level yet at all. But you are seeing a nice little couple baby steps towards that, getting confidence in this team. Like I said, cautiously optimistic. And if this team can continue to be cautiously optimistic as far as a fan base, it makes the games a little more tempered, so you're not getting those huge letdowns when they do not perform, because the law of averages. And then when they do overperform, and you see a night like last night, you see a game like today, you're really excited because your expectations weren't up here. They were right where they're supposed to be. And you're pleasantly surprised when you hit 4 home runs in a game, when you are 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position, when your pitcher gives you a much better outing than you thought he could, because you're only thinking maybe he can give you 5 and he gave you 7. So as long as as a fan base, we're looking at it through those lenses, and we're like, hey, temper your emotions and get excited when they do good things, and just don't get so down when they do bad things, because that's what's expected. If you keep that mindset as a fan, despite what they finish with this year, this season still can be fun. It still can be fun if we don't make the playoffs and we're 500. It still can be fun. So that's what I want to look at. That's how I'm looking at through my goggles. I don't have the Halo honk face on or nothing, but that's just how I'm going. John says, sorry, I was in the hospital. Okay, you weren't in the hospital the entire time. It was just at that one time when we had the, I believe it was a tailgate or one of our other charity things. So it wasn't the whole time. If you want to use that for one of the excuses, okay, but you can't use it the entire time. Time to swim. It's another warm run right there. Grillmaster hitting the water. Also, you got Jim Hoyt saying, first tailgate party, Heedy, Halter Tops tailgate party, Randy will be judging. Oh, dude, he would have to pay me for that one for sure. Transition surgery is rough. I heard, oh, damn. Also, Locked On is good for my jogs for Spotify. John says, but real nice to me in person at the Ohapi Bowl, huh? I had to come to you guys. You know, like I came up to you and I was trying to bury the hatchet there, dude, my guy. And again, your brother was like, I don't even know you. He literally said, who are you? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I've already met you in person a couple times. So I am really nice. And I was really nice. I just said, F it this year, dude. Like filter's gone. You know, I am who I am. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Let's see. So the next comment. So again, if you want to throw shade back, again, I can take it, dude. Like I said, you're throwing the comments out there. I can read them. If you know, I'm sure you would do the same thing. Oh no, wait, you won't let us on your show. Marty says, "Who the hell is Locked On? Never heard of her." Robert says, "John Frisch, relax. We're having a good time, guys. Are super sensitive about things. You should see the way we talk trash to each other all day long. Todd and my 3-year-old talk trash to each other. That's true." His son's got a mouth, by the way. All in good fun. Also, Steve Lee says, how many times can Todd say it is what it is? Maybe you need to put a limit on that one, babe. Artie is working on a Vila. Jay says, what's up with the government phone line? So when can we call in? That happened with the, again, if you guys have used Zoom before, I'm sorry, Skype. Skype literally canceled its personal service, so we don't have phone calls to Skype anymore. So that is the problem we're having right now. So with that being said, we don't have Skype anymore. So supposedly I'm trying to get a system to work with what is it called? The StreamYard. And as soon as we get that going, we'll be good. Right there. Sent the link in the message right there. So I'm sending this out to Terry Smith. Hopefully we can get him on here. He needs to bring some lighter humor to the show. Mario says Artie is helping Halo Joe with Marcia right now. Ride the pony. Farkas is a gimp. I'm interested in seeing what Terry Smith is having to do in the AM 830 game with your future interview. Fernando says, I, for one, extended my hand to Locked On many times, even when they were super Halo brothers. We've had great interactions with Locked On hosts in the past. We aren't good enough for y'all, clearly. And see, that's why I can attest to. Fernando brings up a very, very good point. And I hate to air the laundry here, but then again, I didn't bring this up. He literally was talking, who were the other guys? It was Dan Garcia. It was Fernando's buddy before him. He had really good contacts with all those dudes, and they had us on. We had them on. It was no problem. But something clearly changed. I think Trout is raising his trade stock, Botch says. Also, Jay says checking in on the standings is like being on a diet, checking in on the scale every day, one day at a time. Also, Todd saying, nothing, one game at a time. Also, Marty says, I prefer to listen to Heedy over the podcast every day. Book it. Also, hit the button for subscribing right there. Snell to the IL for the Dodgers. Thank you, by the way, Mario. Botch, that's good news. I know the boys are still bummed, but you never got to see Madden's new Mohawk. Mario says, thank you, Todd and Heedy. I found a home. Keep it going, brother. Also, Roger say revive in 25. I say stop the jive in 25. It's revive in 25, not stop the jive. Halo fan says, watching from Tennessee. Big fan right there. Oh, that's right. The link's right there if one of you guys want to jump on. Marty says, talking trash on to a 3-year-old is freaking hilarious. Botch says, let's bring the shark teeth Terry Smith in. Mike Trout says, Madden sucked. Philip says, Locked On usually uses all of Todd's talking points from his shows. Thank you! See, that's what we got a lot, Philip. That's what we got a lot last year. Because that was my whole thing. It's like, again, there's only so much you could talk about a baseball team. I get that. But again, when you're using the same talking points, because again, they come in on the morning And so that was one of my biggest complaints. It's like, okay, you might as well quote me at least and give me a shout out, because if they said something entertaining and we played off of that, I would gladly be like, hey, man, because we've done it. And Fernando's been my witness. He's picked up, because he would listen to their shows all the time. And he would be like, hey, man, they had a good thing. And on our podcast together, me and Fernando would actually quote them and be like, hey, man, the Super Halo Brothers came up with this really good take the other day. And we went into depth on what they said and gave our takes on their take, making sure damn well people knew we were taking their take and also playing off of it and giving them credit. But that seems to not happen. So, again, you have one of their fans or even a Philip Baker and Angels fan who listens to both shows, which is great. I'm not telling you not to listen to their show at all. But then him saying the same thing. So, and that's not the only guy. We've heard several people say it. Let's see. Silent says we have a Johnson in the comments botched investigation. Brent says Artie hates us more spending time with his wife instead of his mistress. Also, Nevin. Also, Hanky Panky says all they need is number 6 back. Thumbs up on the stream right there. Thank you, Fernando. Also, we've had Watch Todd in order to take his points, or we'd have to watch Todd. Oh, okay. That's a nice one right there. That's not true. You have to give me credit. Well, you didn't give me credit. Steve Elise and I talk, but that's sort of like a relationship thing. I will give her credit. She's jumped on here a bunch of times and also given us plenty of takes, because she's calling stuff during the games there too. Also, Umo, I can't even say that name, but the guy with the cool ass logo right there says, I've had faith in the Angels since the season started. And when did the season start, by the way?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
There you go. John says, laugh my ass off. We literally record our show while you guys are doing your post game. I'm just going by what they say. I can't tell you that I have concrete evidence, but I'm just saying that's what we've been hearing over and over. So that's all I'm saying right now. Troy the Honk is on. Let's see what he says right here. Let me cue you up right here. Troy, what's going on?
What's going on, Todd? Woo! Go Angels!
Well, so
by the way, it's Troy the Honk, not Troy the Hick. I don't know what happened there.
It says Honk.
Oh, so, it says Hick on mine.
No, this is Troy the Honk. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. Todd, what are we going to do with all this winning? Seriously.
We're 6-3. We got a long way to go.
Long way to go, pal, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be an exciting way. I'm so excited for this season. 2025, baby. We're going to do it. Playoffs. Woo! For the playoff. I have my son Pendarvis here all decked out in his Joe Adele jersey and his Angels cap. And my wife Marlene's in the back. She's giving me daggers right now. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so excited. But man, we're just ready. We're just excited. We were at the game today. We're gonna get ready for this week. Oh, good Lord, Todd, my nipples can cut glass right now.
Dude, you are really a honk. You're living by that name, Troy. But still, I mean, listen, we talked about tempering our emotions. We're 6-3. We got a lot of baseball to play.
A lot of baseball to be played. Just like my Lord and Savior Roger Lodge said the other day. This is the season. He has a weird feeling, he says, and I didn't get to go to Arizona this year. I wanted to go so bad, but I just didn't have the time. I was really busy at work, but he was saying how the feeling in the dugout is different, and how there's just a different vibe going on. I kept using the word vibe, Todd. Have you ever heard that word vibe?
Yes, but somehow you saying it makes me very, very weary. But listen.
Vibe.
Stop. I really enjoy your exuberance, your excitement, but yourself a little bit here. And I don't know what those daggers are that your wife's throwing at you, but look, how you feeling about the road trip?
It's going to be a long way. We come back home for just a visit with our families, and then we got to ship off to war again. That's just what we're going to have to do. It's part of the battle, Todd. It's part of the battle.
Okay.
I'm excited. It doesn't matter who we play, Todd. We're winning. The fact of the matter is that we need to win series, and that's what we're going to do here, Todd. Oh my God. Oh, I can't even breathe. I'm so happy right now. Hold on a second.
All right.
Okay, I'm good. My wife's upset with me too, by the way, because I was supposed to wash the dishes this morning, and I totally blew her off and went to the game. And men, you know how we are.
Yeah. Listen, Troy. All I know is that just don't be blasphemous. Your Lord and Savior can't be Roger Lodge. So I know you're a honk, but there is higher powers than one Roger Lodge.
There is higher powers than one Roger Lodge, and his name is Mr. Artie Moreno. What a fantastic job he's doing this year, by the way.
Well, you do what Sammy Sosa said, and that's keep it to continue and keep doing what you're doing.
Sammy Sosa, what a great guy, and what a fantastic complexion he has too. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's something funny about you rolling your S's, by the way, when you do.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Pendarvis, put that saw down. What did I tell you?
Pendormus?
Sorry, not Pendarvis. It's my youngest. He's 13. He gets into stuff. I just got to make sure I watch him. He's a little dangerous with sharp tools.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's in my tool shed right now. I have, let's see, what do I have in my toolbox? I have, let's see, a crescent wrench and a pair of tweezers.
Okay.
That's what I have in there. So I just don't want him to hurt himself. You know, Todd. You know how it is, Todd. You got kids, Todd, right?
Yes, sharp things and grandkids. So
there you go. See? Oh, you're busy.
I'm like Mike Trout.
Boy. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so excited. Everything rolls just perfectly when we're winning, Todd. So let's just keep the winning going, right?
You're right.
We're on the same page here, pal.
Okay, buddy.
I can't wait to spread the news to my buddies at Super Halo Brothers and Locked On. They're going to be so happy to hear that you and I are friends now. Oh, I may be the bridge to our relationship, Todd. I may be the guy.
You could bring it all together. I have faith in you.
Thank you so much. Oh, you just fired me up. All right. Hey, Todd, you have yourself a great day, and God, can't we talk to you soon?
Okay, you got it.
Honk, everyone. I'm a Halo honk for life. Woo!
That's not good. We'll take it, though. Mario says, can't we all get along? Quote from Rodney somewhere in 1992. Not Rodney Dangerfield. Fernando says, isn't that what you're doing, John? Farkas! Mike Trout's trying to break the tension. Fernando says, I've given praise and quoted their takes before. Also, Green Tea says, John, you're literally watching, my man. Steve Lee says, sir, please, what are you doing? John says, yeah, I hopped on in good faith because I'm not recording right now. Tell me the last time you opened StatCast, dude. Yeah, I don't know how to open up StatCast. I have no idea what that is. You got me there, dude. Oh, my God. StatCast. Rob, how you doing, my friend?
Good, Todd. How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, you're stealing content there, I see. Man, great. Kyron Paris, you called it earlier this season, man. The kid's great. He's going to have great things ahead of him. You said if he works hard and he strives for it all, is hungry, he's going to be a big role player here on this team this year. Just like as a podcast, if you work hard to bridge relationships, a lot of things can happen here. So this John Frisch, man, I don't know who you are. I don't judge a book by its cover. But if you're going to come in here and talk trash, we're just here having a good time. Bunch of Angel fans. We're riding the high right now because we know as Angel fans, the high doesn't always stay very high very long. So everyone's here having a good time, and you're saying you don't watch the show, but yet you're on the show once again. And Stephen Lee's, I had to say the best right here. You're on the show. You're acting like it's September. Dude, we're the second week of baseball. So you're watching the show once a week. It's nothing personal, man. You see these tailgates. Todd's at the game. He posts he's at the game. We all post for there. Come by, say hi. Todd is not a dick. No, I mean, Todd, you could be portrayed that way, right? If you're talking trash. You're talking about a former player, man. I don't know if the Frisch brothers are former athletes or whatsoever at all, or ever been in a locker room of college players. It is nothing but trash talk the entire time you walk in. You can go in and out there, pitch a one-hitter, or hit 3 home runs, and someone's going to react at you and say something, start talking trash, because that is just baseball, period. End of the day. So if you want to be softer than the other side of the pillow, man, dude, don't watch. Plain and simple. We're not asking you for watches. We're not begging you for watches. Todd, you tell me. Fernando, you guys tell me. Everyone here tell me if I'm wrong. But we're just a community who likes to say it how it is. We like to give each other a hard time. And, dude, legit, my 3-year-old and Todd are talking trash back and forth with each other about Mickey Moniak. And my 3-year-old starts laughing at the end. Because want to know why? I built him tough. He's not soft. He can understand when someone's joking to have a good time, not take it personal. You just turn the page, man. End of the day. But you're here. You're watching. We know you're watching. Just like the Angels said last year when they were watching Todd, but yet once he walked through the door, they knew exactly who he was in the Halo honk outfit.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
I can't
why
speak
they
for all.
turned me away at the door.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me, no, oh, we don't watch BS, man. Come on. Hey, if you're a true man, come to the tailgate. You got a problem? Come talk to us, man to man, face to face. We're not threatening. We're not going to beat you up. No one's going to do anything like that. We're just Angel fans having a good time. When fans call you out because you do crap like this, you're just adding fuel to the fire for yourself, bud. I'm not going to lie to you, man. If you're going to do this, you're obviously watching for a reason. I don't know if you feel threatened whatsoever. You're going to make some joke. No, we don't feel threatened. But yet you called out Dominic last year and had a little tiff with him about something he said. So you're clearly watching something. And if that's how you truly feel, don't watch. There is no gun to your head. And I don't know. I don't mean to get political, but there's a guy, Charlie Kirk. He does not force anybody to talk. These people come up, they talk to him. He talks trash back. He gives insightful information to them. And they take it how it is. Oh, but the statistical data, who cares about StatCast and all that stuff? This is baseball. So you mean to tell me those little seeing eye singles on the infield, or there's a big shift going on, a guy hits a single, that StatCast records that as, hey, it's a hit, but there was no one really there. No, it's not always about stats. Sometimes it is about the game itself, too. Because if you look at it, if it was about stats, why isn't Ron Washington starting Kyron Paris last couple of games? Because there's more that goes into it. At the end of the day, I personally believe, Todd, we talked about this at the game. He cannot play center field yet. He is not there yet. He's a good infielder, solid, but when he played center field in Chicago, he went to the ball, he went over his glove shoulder. When he really should have went over his throwing arm shoulder, made a mistake, ball dropped. Ron Washington notates that there. Statistically, he should play. But if you look at the other things, there's little liabilities here and there. But I'm just calling, man. I had to call a guy out. I was getting tired of him seeing his comments. Don't bitch and complain in the comments, man. And you have a big showcase. Dude, I'm old school. Todd, I know you're old school and everything. Well, you're old, man. You got grandkids. I don't have grandkids. But I was born in the newer generation, right? Born in the 90s. Dude, because come to the tailgate. Come see us at a stadium. Nothing's going to happen. You can talk to Todd. You can ask him anything. Ask him. I guarantee you, John Frisch, I don't know you. If you ask for Todd off the shirt off his back, he would give it to you. That's the type of guy he is. End of the story. I just had a call to say that, Todd, man. I hate the bashing, all that stuff. We're having a good time, riding the highs. If you don't like it, go lock yourself on your Locked On podcast and stay there. We don't care.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the call, my man.
All right, brother.
All right. Well, I got a couple more guests coming on real quick, but before we do, I got a couple comments to get through. Let's see. Fernando says, I'm not afraid to admit it. I listen to Locked On a few times a week. And he does check them out. Also, John says, I'm here for the second time this season for a change. And as soon as I turn it on, all I hear is trash talk. Imagine my surprise. Well, look, again, I'll just address that comment real quick if I can. And going back to Rob's thing, no one's talking physical, obviously, on either side. So I want to put that to rest too. But as far as like trash talking, I think there can be trash talking in the Angels environment. I've gone back and forth with VT, who runs Angel Central. Even though we're friends, we joke with each other. Hey, I don't agree with his co-host Halo Therapy all the time, and we go back and forth. And we've done it here on the air and off the air. And we've done it on his show and on this and our podcast. I have no problem with that. Again, but the thing is, when fans are telling us certain things, and they're on a bigger platform, like Rob said, they're on a huge platform compared to ours. And we give them all the love because they, whether or not they've earned it or not, they've got it. And we've had people compliment them all the time. They're one of the under Trent Rush and under I forget the other one. They're pretty much numero uno outside of a guy who's been given AM 830 love on TV and on radio. He gets a super built-in audience. So they're doing the best they can. We no shit thrown at them at all. All I'm just saying is that when it comes down to, obviously where you can help somebody else before that, because obviously, we wanted to help them when they were the Super Halo Brothers, and they seem to be cooler at that time. It seems like they got the Locked On either. I don't know if someone I would just rather them say, hey, look, the guys on Locked On don't like you, or they don't like your style, or your style wouldn't fit with us. I'd much rather hear that. And then I would back off and be like, okay, cool, but when we're talking and we sound polite and everything over and everything's going to work out, or we're thinking we're going to invite and everything else like that, and it goes nowhere, obviously, and again, when you're on a platform like this where we do things different from every other freaking podcast and we're going off the cuff, if someone brings you guys up or brings up another thing, we've talked crap about almost all the goddamn platforms, not just yours. And it seems like when people are saying they're doing this or they're saying this, we take jabs, and it is what it is. So if you were on when the show started, we went about a good 40 to 50 minutes before we got into anything off the cuff. So that's just what I'm saying. Demetrius says this guy sound, I'm not going to read that part because I want to stay away from stuff like that, respectfully, of course. Also, Todd can't even open Twitter. How would you expect him to open StatCast? Leave Todd alone. Real quick, EQ, stay on the line real quick. I want to bring in my co-host real quick before you, and that is Fernando, the great Fernando Mendez, checking in from Texas. There you are, Fernando. How's it going, my man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Chilling.
Yeah, dude. Before we get into everything else, I just want to say, well, look at the team, man. Actually playing some solid baseball. Like, I love it. It's actually fun to watch for once. Still in the early going, but I may or may not have already put in a deposit for playoff tickets.
Yeah, that's true.
Not trying to be like Troy, though. Just saying.
Yeah. Don't be as good as Troy, because Troy is on another level, man.
Yeah. But dude, obviously, you know why I wanted to hop on today. Of course, of all days. I mean, he'd come on here, John, and just like we're just having a good time, man. Seriously, like I'm so over it. And then you want to pretend like you're just sitting on your ivory tower. It's like, dude, we've asked you guys to come on so many times, dude, and the invitation's still out there. If you happen to be here, the invitation is still there. Come on the show. Seriously, sometimes you just need to take the gloves off. Everyone is saying here in the comments, yeah, hey, I'd love for you guys all to gel. Trust me, guys, we've tried. We've got the receipts. Yeah. We would love to bury it. Hell, like I said, let's do some charity work together. Seriously. I mean, Todd and I will be there. I will fly out there. You let us know what we're doing for charity, and, man, we'll get it all worked out and figured out. Let's hash it out. Come on, take off the gloves.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, that's not a reference to fight or nothing. That's just, hey, let's get along. Like,
I was 100% talking about fighting.
Stupid. No, but this is something that, like, again, like, obviously when we had that Ohapi thing, Fernando's over there in Texas, so he can't get out here as much as he wants to, obviously. But, when he was out here, he was, boots on the ground trying to get everything hooked up. I mean, before Rocks turned into Light That Baby Up, and they had a pretty good, they had a bigger audience than, almost as big as freaking Locked On at one point. They were doing a really good job, and we collaborated with them. We got along with them. We tried doing things all together to bring all the pages together, because we felt that with all the losing, like it's been said in the comments, you need to rally the troops around. You really need to rally the fans around. It only helps out everybody in the long run. And that's what we were trying to do. And again, like Fernando says, he's got some receipts.
Yeah, man. Could you imagine getting such a big head after only having 1,000 views an episode? Like, what? It's crazy. But yeah, man.
Because we've always done this, Fernando, and we talked about it. If we get like 50 views or 100 views when we first started, because we're not really blowing it away. We're not killing it like they are either. But we're happy with what we got, because we know, hey, man, we got some, real fans that like our stuff. Like, we weren't expecting to blow into a network or to try to start a network on our own, right? It just sort of came about.
Yeah, man, we've said it before, we'd say it again. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I mean, you can keep your 1,000 viewers. We'll keep our whatever we got at that time. I mean, at the end of the day, the people show up. We appreciate the support. We always have. Whenever we have tailgates, people know, to come out. Everyone always has a good time. And, we're all just having fun. So, I mean, I'm just kind of over it. I really am over it. Every time they come on here, they play like they're the victim. And it's not like that. But hey, for whatever it's worth, I'm going to be at the Angels Rangers game here. I saw that Jason will be there. I'll be there on Jackie Robinson Day the 15th. If any of you guys are going to be out here, let me know. And then I'm going to be out in Anaheim on the 23rd. I think Todd and I are going to be at the ball game out there. So looking forward to seeing some Halo honks that day.
Yeah, we'll definitely get around. We'll make our rounds, but definitely get some footage from that stadium over there and what the Angels hopefully can go in there and take 2 of 3, do a Rally Chris special on them.
Yeah, dude, maybe I'll actually try to hop on there on the old TikTok with the kids and see if I can do some of those videos. You know, I can't do TikTok. Todd can't do StatCast.
There you go. What's the StatCast?
Yeah, never heard of a StatCast. Never heard of a. Who is she? All right, man. See you later.
All right. There's Lone Star right there. Couple more before we let me get a few more comments and I'll jump in. I know EQ's been waiting. We have Artie Moreno on the line too, so we'll have to see about Artie Moreno here. Just going to cut through some of these comments. Believe me, I'm reading them right now, like this one right here. They never criticize the team. Let's see. Also, you got Mario says Rob likes to take it hard. Yeah, you give it to him pretty hard right there. Also, Rob, the voice of Todd, or God, I think she meant. Also, Walter, my son, checking in with, bro, that's my dad. He owes me a game of catch. Also, let's see. Also, MLA says, for your Spanish of the day, ay, vato, my bad. I just got here. You done great, my brother. Thank you, sir. Also, Fernando, there's things that you don't come back from, like trying to put Todd down by pretending not to know who he is. Also, you got Mario says, go woke and go broke. Lone Star Halo talking real. Here we go. So I appreciate all that right now. Let's get EQ in here real quick and along with Artie Moreno. So you guys are in. How's it going, guys?
Woo! Let's go Halos.
I think Arturo just jumped off the board right here. So it's just me and you, EQ, unless he jumps back on.
It's all right, man. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. What's going on, my man?
Hey, man, that game last night was awesome, man. I saw you last night. It was sick.
Yeah, 4 home runs last night. They win a big game against Cleveland and then take the series today. What are your thoughts on today, dude?
I think if we keep on being consistent, and I don't know what happened over the weekend. You know how Ian Anderson choked? I don't know what day it was, and then he came back and shut down 2 innings. Something just like changed them. Something, I don't know. Someone spoke to them. Someone told them something that and it needs to be continuing happening. That someone needs to be talking in the ear, believing in themselves, because they are good players. They're professionals for a reason, and they are actually really good. If you actually see them play at their prime, or a good game, they're actually good. But sometimes they don't believe in themselves for some reason. I don't know.
Maybe that's the part that's changed. They got the camaraderie. They got they're doing things different. Obviously, this season's starting a little bit different than previous seasons. It's giving us some hope. We're hoping it's not false hope. We're hoping that these guys can continue to play above their head. Because if they can, again, you win the month of April, things start to change for May. And then you're like, man, if we can go 500 or a little bit better, June might be fun.
It's still early, like how you were saying earlier. People were saying, "Oh, playoffs." I mean, I would want to. I wish, but it's not the time yet. There's 150 more games to go, 140 more games to go. And who knows who gets injured? I hope no one gets injured. We all know who we're talking about too. And, and as long as that guy stays in that lineup, there's a possibility we will do good this season, and it could go from 500 or to playoffs, regardless. I just want to see him do good and everyone be consistent. And who knows what can happen, man. Seriously, we're literally the underdogs.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. I mean, look, we talked about it, too. 153 games to go after today. And, there's plenty of baseball left to be played, like like Roger Lodge says. So there's a lot of baseball out there. This team has got to still play all their division games, everything else like that. They got the rivalry games. So a lot can change. And baseball is a funny game. It's not how you start the season, it's how you finish. And that's how – and there's a ton of cliches to throw out there. But for right now, all we can say is that we're loving the first 9. We're hoping that the next 9 go just as good, hopefully, on the road. And, maybe, just maybe when they come home for Star Wars weekend – we can really be cheering for more than just the Star Wars cameos and the giveaways. We can be cheering for the team that's on the field because, again, that Giants series is not going to be a joke, dude. The Giants are a really underrated baseball team this year because of who's in their division, and they're going to be a tough out, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, what do you think about that series? Do you think we'll take at least one, or do you think we'll surprise them?
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I'm not going to make predictions. All I'm going to say is it's not going to be a blowout either way. I don't think the Giants even if they sweep us, they're going to be tight, contested games.
Right.
I think the Giants, their starting pitching is a little bit better than ours. Our bullpen's a little bit better than theirs. Our hitting's about the same so far. So I think it's going to be a very even contest. Those 3 games, so it can go either way. I mean, we could 3 straight, or they could beat us 3 straight. But damn, each one of them is going to be a butt clincher.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But you know what I hate? That tomorrow's there's not going to be any baseball for the Angels. So
well,
there's not anything I can watch.
Thank you, Rob Manfred, because he likes to do a lot of these off dates and travel dates in April. So you get a lot of these. Hey, we're already having another day off. And then when you need a day off in August and September, it's like, no, you're playing like 20 games in a row. So
yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, and then the last thing before I get off here, what's it called? Imagine the viewership. Imagine the lockdown, and you guys if you guys collab, how much viewership you guys would have increasingly growing because you guys collab and you guys have similar views and we're all fans, But I actually do watch Lockdown, and I like how they speak and approach, and I like how you guys speak and approach too. But the thing is, though, I like you guys more, and I don't listen to the other guys because they're so boring. Like, they're not interactive, and this is why I support you. Like, I've always supported you since day one. And imagine if they took off the gloves, how Fernando was saying, how much everything could change in this community. Everything would be brighter. Everybody would be together and no beef. Like, this is so childish. Like, are we in high school? You know what I'm saying? But anyways.
Yes, we are. My parents are currently calling their parents.
But yeah, I'm just gonna end it off that note because it's kind of childish, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just imagine the viewership on both sides, how much it would grow.
Oh yeah,
everything would change.
I appreciate that, my man.
All right, man. I'll just tune in still.
All right, bro. We'll see you soon.
All right.
All right, that's EQ right there. Just to follow up real quick before I get back into baseball, before we start to end the show, Tony Angel says the mighty Halos. Still waiting for Artie. Artie fell off right there waiting. I'm sorry. He probably fell asleep, but we might squeeze him in. If not, it's okay. But it's not just, again, I'm really good friends with VT over there at Angel Central. Not everyone, always gets along, and there's been some rifts here and there, but we're good friends with him. And like I said, with Halo Therapy, that's with him. We don't always agree on our takes, and we talk shit back and forth. We've been wanting to, do things with them and collab, and also to possibly merge at one point, just to throw things behind the scenes. But it didn't work out and hadn't worked out. So it's like we moved on, but we're still cool, and we respect each other. So there's something to that. I mean, if you can't always collab or stuff like that, come to an agreement, come to an understanding. But makes it a little bit. Artie Moreno is on right now. What kind of song is that? This sounds really choppy. Artie? Artie?
Get higher, baby! Get higher, baby! Get higher, baby! Oh, ever come down? Free base!
Is the reception kind of bad, or the sound kind of bad because you're on the plane ride back to Arizona, or what's going on?
Yeah, you got it, bucko. Hey! I just got word from my Secret Service guys.
Oh, pal?
That there's somebody bothering my little buddy. You want me to go down there and kick somebody's butt? Because I'll do it.
No, Artie.
I'll do it.
You're fine. By the way, Mike Trout checks in with, did you wake up with a hangover like me last night?
Oh, I don't get hangovers anymore. I just get started the next day with my breakfast. Just a little shot of Jim Beam just to get my gears turning. Oh, boy. Sometimes I'll pour a little bit in my Cheerios because, have fiber, Todd. Yeah, have your oats. Yeah, you got to eat healthy. That's why I've lived so long.
That's why I'm still around, Todd. Oh.
The fans are loving the fact that you've been around so long, by the way.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Hey, I just wanted to say something to the people who have been bullying my little buddy Trent. Don't you ever come out here, whoever you are, and talk to poop about my buddy Rush, because he's doing the best job he can, even though he sweats profusely and he can never understand anything he says. And he says, hey, at the beginning of every sentence. Leave him alone.
Hey, it's Todd, by the way. It's Todd.
Oh, wrong channel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Someone's bullying Trent Rush?
Oh, I thought you were Trent Rush.
No, I'm Todd Fox.
Oh, I'm sorry, Todd. Oh, forgive me, Todd. I didn't mean to mix you up with that fella.
I'm the that you turned away at the stadium last year.
Oh, hey, Uncle, I saw you interviewed good old Bear Trap Mouth.
Terry Smith was a good interview. I mean, we cut some of it out, so we have some of it because the teeth were getting in the way of the camera.
I'll tell you what, there's a reason why that man never tucks his shirt in. You don't wanna see his poop bag on the side.
That's personal, Artie. That's messed up.
He's been getting on my nerves. Hey, how come you interview me? I'm available.
You're a hard man to get, believe me, and I don't mean that.
I'm just hard.
I was gonna say don't take it sexual.
I beat you to it, buddy.
Mike Trout has millions of reasons to love you, he says. Josh also says, hey, Artie, are you going to sell soon? And how about that article in the newspaper from the mayor?
Oh, yeah. First of all, mayor's kind of hot. Just saying. A lot hotter than that Sidhu guy. But, yeah, she wants to discuss things about the stadium and the name change. You know what I say to that? Come over here to Angel Stadium. Wear something nice, and we'll talk. I'll change the name to anything if she puts out.
Isn't the new mayor a man?
No. Whatever. Confused again? I don't even know what city I'm in right now, Todd. This is LA, right?
No, it's
Mayor Bass.
Still Anaheim.
That Mayor Bass is hot.
Artie, you are a true treasure to the OC. That's for sure.
Yes, I am.
Do you eat nachos with your Jim Beam?
What's that?
Do you eat nachos with your Jim Beam?
Oh, yeah. I eat nachos with everything, Todd. I'm a nacho kind of guy. I like to eat nachos. And I like to open up a bag of peanuts. And then a hot dog. I think I'm going to come out next year with the Halo burrito. Something special and nice for the fans.
By the way, you sound a little like your stomach's upset. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Todd. I never felt better in my life.
See, I always can sense when you're not feeling too good. It's starting to you're starting to crawl up your esophagus like a roller coaster.
Oh, you know me too well, Todd. Hold on 1 second. Oh, hold it. Round number 4. Let's get this party started. Woo!
Thanks, Artie, for coming on, man. It's a long plane ride back. I got to end the show, unfortunately. We had a lot going on. I would have had you on earlier, but we had some unnecessary drama on here.
Yeah, I know. You let me know, Todd. If you want me to drop some dogs, I'll do it for you. You're a good buddy, Todd. I'll shed blood for you, pal.
Oh, man.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
No more flaming
All right,
turds
Trent,
for
have a
people's
good night.
porch steps, okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, this stewardess is looking pretty nice, man. Hey, come here. Yeah, I want to hit on this, Todd. I'll let you know tomorrow how it goes.
What about your
What's that?
What about your wife?
Oh, she's asleep by the window with headphones on. She won't be able to tell.
Okay.
I have a lot of leg room.
All right, then. Have a good one, Artie. It's good talking with you. Okay. All right, a few more comments right here. Silent E says, Heedy is the voice of the hardcore disgruntled fans that are tired of the dumpster fire, and Locked On is the voice of that brings reason to the chaos. Both offer good takes depending on the type of viewer. And I don't disagree with that one bit. I tend to lean towards more Heedy, obviously, because I'm a very disgruntled fan who has been tired of Artie since 2003. Also, Artie eats nachos off Sapphire's ass. And also, we talking crap, laugh my ass off. Well, to get back to it real quick, what Silent E said, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of Angel fans who, they have their opinions, about the team, and there's different strokes for different folks, man. Like literally, we have our right to say what we want to say as they do on theirs, and there's no problem with it. I have no issue with it. So, this is how it sometimes goes. Sometimes you get into rifts with fellow fans at the game. I mean, look how many Raider fans fight with each other. And I don't want it to get into a Raider type vibe. I'd rather have us all get along together and to enjoy one's to enjoy the back and forth as fans and hopefully win, because again, I guarantee you none of this would be even remotely an issue with anybody. If this team was doing good and this team wasn't run by a shitty owner. We would actually have, good fan base. We'd have good back and forth with each other, and we'd probably be running into each other at tailgates. But, that doesn't happen. Because real quick, because we have someone else on the line I'm going to throw on right now, we've had tons of tailgates in the past. And before I even began to, what is it called? Before I even had Fernando as a friend, and I met him through another page, which was Angel Central at the time. Before we even started, we used to go to tailgates all the time. He was a season ticket holder. I ran into a bunch of people, dude. Like we used to have Angels fans for life on Facebook when that was a thing. We had over 400 to 500 people at a freaking tailgate, all for the same thing, all to be there to watch a really fun team, and it was fun. I miss those days. I wish we can get back to that. But unfortunately, it's ended on this, man. The stats for today, Angels win 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors against 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Ohio. Tyler Anderson does not factor in the win. Zephyr John gets his first win of the season. Good job all around right there. Also, Mario says, no, Frisch needed content for his show. Let's see. And then let's play some before we get out of here. Angels win, Stukas, all that good stuff. Angels, let's see, probable pitchers. I'll get into that real quick. And then we'll play the commercials and for real jump out of here. I do believe in every one of you and really appreciate everyone jumping in today. So it was really nice to do that. Hey, I'll take the good with the bad. We go off the cuff here. It's fine. I don't mind. This is how we get to stuff here on this channel, dude. It is what it is. Like I said, for the 30th time. Let's see. So again, we're off on the 7th. We're back on the 8th, and we will be in Tampa Bay. And the Tampa Bay starting for that game 1 will be on FanDuel. It'll be a 4:00 start, 3:30 Pacific time for your pregame show over there on FanDuel. Kyle Hendricks will look for, again, his first win of the season. He's got a 3 ERA as he pitched in St. Louis. Not a bad start. It was actually a quality start, which was 6 innings right there. And then you have against Shane Baez, who pitched he had 10 strikeouts in his first game. And I believe it was he had 14 games last year. It was 4-3. He pitched 6 innings in his first start and had 10 strikeouts. So again, this is a guy that's going to throw a lot of crazy shit, and we're going to have to be doing our homework on him. as we go into that game. He's a good starter, trust me. So the Angels will have to get their shit together if they're going to want to win in Tampa. Again, in an unfamiliar part, you're going to have some problems. You might have some errors in this one, so they have to get their shit together.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you got to take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it.
Definitely.
Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just got to get it together. Get your shit together.
Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the infield.
All right, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday after the Rays game, only here on the Halos in the Infield Network. Peace.